Hello and welcome to week 16 of plant biology here at NICC. This week is essentially a continuation from last week. So again, we're reading in chapters 26 and 32 of the Biology 2E OER textbook. And we're really just continuing our discussion about angiosperms and angiosperm development. Excuse me. Continuing on with this section, we're going to be talking about angiosperm diversity. So we're starting sort of at the base of that family tree, and we're talking about what are called basal angiosperms, or the base. And this is a really primitive group, exemplified primarily by modern plants like the magnolias. And then moving into more kind of everyday angiosperms that we're used to, the monocots and the dicots. So the monocots have a single cotyledon, so they have this single food source for the developing plant embryo. The plants that should come to mind when you think of monocots are grasses, so things like corn, wheat, barley, oats, the grass outside your window. Those are all monocots, and it's just a different sort of type of developmental pathway that these plants took. Moving forward, also a little bit evolutionarily speaking, now we come into a group called the eudicots. That's EU and then dicots. Most people just call them the dicots. So that's comparing monocots, or one single cotyledon, to the eudicots, or two cotyledons. The eudicots are an incredibly diverse group. Unless they're magnolias or monocots, they're probably a dicot. So oak trees, soybeans, pretty much any sort of any other plant other than a grass is probably a dicot that you're going to be coming across in everyday kind of communication with plants. Table 26.1 has a really good comparison of these different groups. Continuing on in 26.4 of the textbook, we're really starting to look at the role of seed plants. And seed plants are incredibly important to the development of human society and sort of its continuation. We use plants and plant products every day. Every single day, we're using and utilizing plant products. This shirt is cotton. Cotton is a plant product. This paper is definitely a plant product. The wooden supports under the walls in here in my office, the door behind me, plant products. We use plant products every day. And really these roles are very diverse. This part of the chapter also talks about things like herbivory, so the eating of plants, pollination, the importance of that in human life, and again, food and building materials and all that stuff. One really important aspect of plants are the medicinal components of plants, often sort of overlooked, but many plant products are really critical for the development of effective and new medical technology, or medicinal technology at any rate. The chemical compounds found in plants are wildly diverse and for the most part actually unknown. So there's a strong push by researchers to adequately and accurately develop our understanding of plant chemistry so that we can put those chemicals to use. A good example of a medicinal product from a plant would be from the yew tree. We get a compound called taxine, which is important in a chemotherapy drug to prevent the replication of cancer cells. So that's just one example, but we really get a lot of benefit from plants in our everyday life. And really one of the big threats to this availability of these plant resources is the loss of biodiversity. So we as a planet are losing a large number of species of plants, especially in recent times, primarily due to deforestation and habitat loss in the equatorial rainforest, so in Brazil, the Central Africa, those areas are rich in rich plant resources, but not very well documented and being lost at a tremendous rate. So the loss of those resources, once they're gone forever. So our building our understanding and developing these resources is critical for human expansion and continued development of us as a species and in our societies. Continuing on in chapter 32, we also talk about the development of different fruits and fruit types. So again, these are found in angiosperms, and so familiarize yourself with those different fruit types as well. Again, food resources are a major function that humans use plants for. Whether or not you personally like to eat your vegetables, billions of people across the globe subsist on a primarily vegetable diet, and without that vegetation available to us as a species, starvation would be rampant on this planet. So the utility of plants in human life cannot be overstated. It's truly, truly critical. So that's sort of my spiel for today. I'll keep it short and sweet. Again, it's primarily a continuation of what you guys should have started reading for last week in chapters 26 and 32 in the textbook. So I hope you guys had an enjoyable Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you later.